So on these training portions, we're going to talk about different aspects of things that go into training. And the first thing we're going to talk about is sleep. Sleep is the most important thing you can focus on as an athlete. And I know that doesn't sound sexy, I know that doesn't sound fun because you'd rather focus on speed or vertical training, but sleep is what makes the foundation for your healthy lifestyle. Because when you sleep, that's when your body naturally produces energy, you recover, you heal, you grow muscle, you learn, you process, you develop skills. All of that happens when you sleep. It's not happening when you're working out. Remember this, when you're training and lifting, you're not getting better, you're actually getting worse. You're breaking down muscle, you're beating your body up. Sleep is when you're actually healing and growing and repairing. So it's easy to get out and train, and everybody wants to get out and grind and work hard, but no one wants to do the work of sleeping and actually getting the recovery in. Outside of the 1 to 2 hours a day you're training and working hard, your primary goal as an athlete needs to be to maximize your recovery and your sleep. Now, as an athlete, you need to prioritize that, and 7.5 hours is the bare minimum you should accept for yourself. 9 is going to be better. The first thing you want to think about is that sleep is broken down into different cycles, and they're about 90 to 120 minutes depending on your body and your specific needs. But that's where your body goes through different phases. There's phase 1, 2, 3, 4, and REM sleep. Now, the lighter phases, phase 1 and 2, those are phases where you're in lighter sleep. That's when you naturally would wake up, or if you get up and go to the bathroom, your brain is not in this deep mode of sleeping and processing. As you go through these stages, you get to levels 3 and 4, and then REM, the rapid eye movement sleep, and that's where you have the most important functions of sleep. Your hormone production, your brain cleaning, your processing, your learning. This is where dreaming is going to happen in the REM stage. And so your body goes 1, 2, 3, 4 REM, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4 REM, and it goes back and forth, up and down as it goes through these phases and in each cycle over the night. Now, the important part is that there are certain processes that only happen after 3 or 4 complete sleep cycles. So if you're only getting 3 hours of sleep, you're not going to get this hormone release for the human growth hormone and things that actually stimulate growth for our bodies and our muscles, as well as the deep learning. We have to have the consistent, long, and uninterrupted sleep. Now, that doesn't mean that if you can't get 9 hours of sleep every night, you're totally doomed, because I get it. You'll have late practices, early practices, you have to get up for school, work, whatever it is. But around that, you can build in naps. And now there's 2 types of naps. There's going to be the short power nap. That's going to be the 5 to 20 minutes, where this is going to be a chance for you to recover and regenerate, and it's a little pick-me-up. The other side is going to be a actual sleep cycle nap, where you're doing a 90 to 120 minute nap. And these are important because if you go over 20 minutes, you're going to start to slip into some of these deeper sleep cycles, and that can throw you off, because that can make it, you're going to wake up, you're going to feel groggy, you're not going to feel good. So if you're going to take a nap to supplement your sleep, either keep it 20 minutes or less, or go for a full 90-minute nap and actually take it as a real sleep cycle. Now, the important part is that you're getting sleep consistently, because while you can make up sleep, it does take time, and it doesn't work as much as, oh, I'm 3 hours in my sleep debt, let me just sleep more on the weekend. It takes a few nights for your body to get back to a place of sleep. Most people are chronically underslept, and they don't realize it. They use something like Adderall or caffeine to get them up and rolling in the morning. They have to take melatonin, they can't sleep at night because they're too wired at night before they go to bed. That's not a healthy sleep cycle. So to prioritize your sleep, you have to prioritize the first hour when you wake up in the morning and the last hour before you go to bed. Now, this is something when you get up, have a routine, something that wakes you up naturally. You don't have to jump straight out of bed and grab coffee and take a cold shower. It can be better to ease into it. And that's where having something like a daily 10, which you'll see in the program, are a nice, easy morning movement routine. I do these every morning, first thing when I wake up. The other side of that is when you're going to bed, you don't just want to be looking at, studying, doing something hard and mental, or looking at screens. Blue light from the screen simulates the blue lights from the sky, and our brain thinks, oh, it's time to wake up. So that stimulates our brain waves, so we're going to be more alert and awake. And that makes it harder to switch into a rested sleep. So the last 30 minutes to an hour before you go to bed, shut off the screens. Don't be looking at Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok in your bed, just sitting there scrolling through. You're literally getting your brain wired, and you're not going to be able to fall asleep. So make sure that you're doing the work beforehand to get ready for bed, meaning you have a routine. You take whether a cold shower, hot shower, something that relaxes you. You're winding down. You're not doing a bunch of hard simulating work with your brain. And then make sure you're waking up in the morning, getting your water first thing, getting your movement in and easing into that, because those are going to create the buffer around your sleep. Now, if you haven't created the buffer around that, it's going to be harder for you to get that quality sleep. And if you're not getting that quality sleep, you will not feel good on the field. And the last thing I'll say is, if you're feeling beat up, if you're feeling tired, or your body's starting to accumulate some aches and pains, the best thing you can do is get a good night's sleep. So if you haven't been sleeping well, or you're behind, take a few nights, get 7.5, 8, 9 hours of sleep, and you will feel so much better. And last thing, I promise, there is never a time to not get your sleep. If you're cramming for a test or you're stressed, those are all excuses. You cannot out-study, out-cram a test you didn't plan and work ahead of time to get to. It's just like staying up. You're not gonna learn something you didn't already learn. So don't sacrifice your sleep to think it's gonna improve your performance on a physical or a mental test. It's not worth it. So focus on the quality, make it consistent, and do that, and you will see the biggest return on any other investment as far as your performance and your overall abilities as an athlete.